Hey there, fellow Shopify enthusiasts. If you're using Shopify to power your online store, you might be unknowingly committing common mistakes that could be hurting your sales and profits. But fear not, because in this video, we'll be spilling the tea on the top 10 Shopify faux pas and providing you with some practical tips to avoid them. So whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, sit tight and get ready to learn some valuable lessons. And hey, if you're not using Shopify yet, we've got you covered with the link in the description and the pinned comment. So let's get started. Now, number 10 on our list of common mistakes people make when using Shopify is not setting up a primary domain. When you create a new Shopify store, Shopify provides you with a temporary URL that ends in .myshopify.com. If you don't set up a primary domain and redirect your traffic, your customers may end up on this temporary URL instead of your custom domain name. Setting up a primary domain is an important step to ensure your brand looks professional and trustworthy to customers. It's a simple fix, but one that many new merchants forget when launching their Shopify store. To set up a primary domain in Shopify, head to your Shopify admin panel, click on Online Store, and then Domains. From there, you can add and verify your custom domain and set it as your primary domain. By setting up a primary domain, you ensure that your customers always see your custom domain name when they visit your store, making it easier for them to remember your brand and return for future purchases. Number 9 on our list is people adding too many apps to their store. While apps can be useful in providing additional functionality, it's important to strike a balance between adding extra features and cluttering your site, which can lower loading speeds and impact the user experience. With thousands of apps available on the Shopify App Store, it can be tempting just to add as many as possible to your store. However, it's important to be selective and only add apps that provide real value to your customers and business. A good rule of thumb is to keep the total number of apps added to your store under 10. This helps to ensure that your store remains fast and responsive while still offering the functionality that your customers need. When choosing apps for your store, consider their impact on site speed, user experience, and overall business goals. Be sure to test apps thoroughly before adding them to your store and regularly review and remove apps that are no longer necessary or providing value. By being selective and strategic in the apps you add to your store, you'll create a better user experience for your customers, improve site performance, and ultimately drive more sales. Now, number 8 on our list of common mistakes is using poor quality or oversized images, logos, and banners on their site. The images that you use on your site are a key factor in whether or not someone decides to make a purchase, so it's important to get them right. Using low quality or blurry product photos can give the impression of poor quality products, which can quickly erode customers' trust. Similarly, oversized logos and banners can come across as spammy or unprofessional and can carry negative impact on the user experience on your site. In addition, using images that are larger than how they appear on a page can drastically decrease your loading speeds, leading to a poor user experience and potentially causing customers to leave your site. Research has shown that on average, if your site takes longer than 3 seconds to load, customers are likely to abandon it. To avoid these pitfalls, it's important to use high quality, properly sized images on your site. Use tools like Pic Resize to adjust image sizes and tiny PNGs to optimize file sizes for faster loading. Be sure to also test your site regularly to ensure that the images load quickly and don't negatively impact site performance. By using high quality images that are properly sized and optimized for faster loading, you'll create a better user experience for your customers, build trust in your brand, and ultimately drive more sales. Now, number 7 is an all too common mistake people overlook, and that's forgetting to include sizing charts on their site, particularly if they're selling clothing. One of the biggest challenges with buying clothes online is that customers can't try them on before making a purchase. This means it's crucial to include accurate sizing information on your site to help customers choose the right size the first time. It's also important to note that sizing can vary significantly between different brands, so it's not enough to simply list generic sizes of, say, small, medium, and large. Instead, you should provide detailed sizing charts for each product that take into account specific measurements such as chest size, waist size, and inseam length. Not including sizing charts can result in a negative customer experience, with customers ordering the wrong size and having to go through the hassle of return and exchanges. This can also result in lost sales and negative reviews, which can be damaging to your brand reputation. To avoid this issue, I recommend adding sizing charts to the bottom of each product description, making them easily accessible to customers. Be sure to also include detailed instructions on how to measure themselves to ensure the most accurate sizing of them. By providing detailed and accurate sizing information, you'll help customers make informed purchasing decisions, improve customer satisfaction, and ultimately increase sales. Pop-ups are a polarizing topic in the world of e-commerce. On the one hand, they can be incredibly effective at collecting customer emails and distributing discount codes. On the other hand, they can be annoying and disruptive if not used correctly. One of the biggest mistakes I see merchants make with pop-ups is having them appear too soon after a customer arrives on the site. Customers need a chance to browse and get a feel for your brand before being bombarded with a pop-up. If they're annoyed right off the bat, they're less likely to continue browsing or make a purchase. To avoid this, I recommend setting your pop-ups to appear after a minimum of 30 seconds after a customer arrives on the site. Additionally, make sure the pop-up only appears once, not every time the customer clicks to a different page. Remember, first impressions are important. Don't ruin it with spammy pop-ups. Number 5 is to narrow your focus and don't try to sell everything. As a merchant, it's easy to fall into the trap of thinking the more products you offer, the more likely you are to make a sale, but that's not necessarily the case. In fact, the most successful stores tend to focus on a specific niche, rather than overwhelming the customers with too many options. You'll have better luck if you promote a handful of products that you know will be popular. By concentrating your market on a smaller number of products, you'll be able to gauge what's working and what isn't, and then adjust accordingly. Not only does this approach make it easier for customers to find what they're looking for, but it can also help you avoid the paradox of choice, the overwhelming feeling of having too many options to choose from. So don't try to sell everything under the sun. Focus on what you know works and build from there. Now, using a super bright or aggressive color scheme may seem like a good way to make your website stand out, but it can actually turn customers away. While it's important to make your site visually appealing and unique, you don't want to sacrifice usability and readability. The best practice is to stick with a white or an off-white background and use your brand colors for accents throughout the site. It's also crucial to ensure that all text is easily readable and doesn't cause eye strain. Don't forget, the goal is to create an enjoyable and user-friendly experience for your customers, not overwhelm them with garish color schemes. Number 3 is forgetting to test, but it's also forgetting to test your Shopify store on multiple devices before launching. Now, launching a new website is exciting, but before you hit the publish button, it's crucial to test your site on different devices. Now, just because your site looks great on your desktop computer doesn't mean it'll look the same on a mobile device or a tablet. Nowadays, many people browse the internet using their smartphone, so it's essential to make sure your website is responsive and mobile friendly. Testing your site on multiple devices allows you to catch any issues, make necessary adjustments to ensure your website looks and feels the same across all platforms. You may need to resize images, adjust font sizes, or reposition certain elements to optimize the user experience on different devices. Make sure to check for any technical issues as well, such as broken links, slow loading times, or security concerns. A little bit of testing can go a long way in making sure your Shopify store is ready. Number 2 is the over-reliance on Facebook and Google ads for marketing. Now, while Facebook and Google ads are undeniably popular and effective ways to market your online store, it's important not to rely on them entirely. For one thing, these platforms are highly competitive, which means that you may end up spending a lot of money without seeing significant return on investment. Additionally, there are other marketing channels that can be just as effective, if not more so, depending on your business type and target audience. For example, if you have a local business, word of mouth marketing can be incredibly powerful. This involves building personal connections with your customers by talking to them in person, handing out business cards with discount codes on them, and collecting email addresses for your mailing list. Alternatively, you can use social media platforms like Instagram and TikTok to promote your brand and products through images and videos. TikTok in particular has become a popular platform for viral marketing. Ultimately, the key is to explore a variety of marketing channels to find the ones that work best for your business. My number one is create it and they will come. Picture this: you just launched your brand new e-commerce store. You've got your beautiful website up and running, your products are top notch, and you're ready to start raking in the cash. But wait, what's that? Nobody seems to be visiting your website, let alone making any purchases. What gives? Well, here's the deal. You can't just sit back and hope for the best. In a world with over 600 million active websites, the chances of somebody stumbling upon your new site are slim to none. You need to invest time, money, and a bit of elbow grease into marketing your brand and products if you want to see any success. So what does that mean? Well, first things first, you need a plan. Who are your customers? Where are they located? And how are you going to reach them? They are all questions you should be asking yourself before you even think about launching your site. And don't worry, marketing doesn't have to be boring or daunting tasks. Get creative with it. Hand out business cards with cheeky discount codes on the back. Start a TikTok account and make some hilarious videos featuring your product. Or maybe even hit up your local farmers market and set up a booth to showcase your goods. The point is, having a pretty website isn't enough to guarantee sales. You need to put in the effort to properly market your online store if you want to see any success. So get out there, have some fun with it, and start bringing in those customers.